The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he's made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Sugar babe.
Oh, no, you don't. That picture stays right where it is, Luke McCoy.
Oh, not yet. Well, Grandpa still ain't got over our going to night school. You know what he said about my taking up home plumbing. Oh, Kate, if he finds out about this...
Luke, there ain't nothing wrong with you learning how to paint. Grandpa should be mighty proud of his own flesh and blood, trying to improve himself, get a little culture. Why, you only been going a couple of nights, and just look at that pretty thing.
I know I drawed it, but what is it?
Your art teacher said you had a real nice feeling.
Well, my art teacher ain't Grandpa. You know the only picture he ever cottoned to was that lumberyard calendar of Teddy Roosevelt a-charging up San Juan Hill. Just let me take it down. I'll put Teddy Roosevelt in there someplace.
Luke, you leave that right where it is. It decorates the room mighty nice.
Oh, why don't we just keep it decorating our bedroom, huh? Every morning when I reach under the bed for my shoes, it'd look so pretty just laying there.
You ain't gonna hide it no longer.
Sugar babe, you ain't throwing this fancy supper at Grandpa tonight, too.
Mrs. Grady, the home economics teacher, said a meal should be appealing to the eye as well as satisfying to the stomach.
Well, if you won't hide the picture, I'll make a bargain with you. Let's put the table under the bed. Well, two blows like this is liable to kill Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa. Hi.
Supper's ready, Grandpa.
Will you? Where? Who invited company?
There ain't no company. Just us.
Just us? Well, I know it ain't Christmas. Ain't no holly wreath in the window.
Trying to make things look nice, Grandpa. A table should be more than something just to eat on. That's what they taught me in school.
Darn fancy school.
There ain't nothing wrong with fixing up a supper table to look good, Grandpa. Kate, it's beautiful. Thank you, Hassie.
Women.
Nice little Luke. Women.
You ain't snorting, boy.
Ain't nobody gonna accuse me of not siding with the men folk. It looks mighty pretty.
Well, now, that was spoke like a true yellow-bellied husband. Luke, I'm warning you, that woman's gonna have you wearing garters yet. Well, I know it's a chicken, but what's it swimming in?
It's a French recipe. I got it from school. It's called coq au vin. It's a chicken cooked in wine.
Well, I ain't gonna eat no chicken that has to get liquored up to get the courage to come out here.
Pay attention here, little Luke, to what you're doing now. Come on.
Who's been scratching on the wall?
Painting, Grandpa.
Well, I'll take your word for it, but what lumberyard put out that mess of chicken tracks?
There's modern art, Grandpa. The artist puts down on the paper what he sees.
I wonder what that knothead was looking at when he done that.
The teacher says that Luke has a real nice feeling for art.
Kate!
He's got to know.
Oh, boy. Look at your old grandpa right in the eye and tell him you married a lying woman.
Grandpa, you're carrying on like I'd done something terrible.
I might have known this was coming on. Way back when the mule kicked you in the head that time. Instead of getting up and kicking him back, you got up and run off crying.
Grandpa's 4 years old.
The mule was only 3. If I'd known he was going to bring shame down on my head like this, why, I'd have traded you and kept the mule.
We're on our way to school.
Good night.
They got a group for folks over 60 at the school. They have lectures, and Well, they make all sorts of things.
It sort of gives them an interest in life. Why don't you try it, Grandpa?
I got plenty of interest in life. I got my family and my home. What did little Luke and Hassie do if I wanted around to give them advice while he's growing up?
Well, you know they love you, Grandpa. They got their own life to live. The older they get, the less they're going to need you.
Yeah, you ain't shipping me out to no old folks group.
Grandpa, they make an awful lot of useful things.
Yeah. Just a bunch of old dobbins put out to pasture by the kids, just a wasting away and a waiting for old Gabe to blow his horn in their one good ear.
Well, then, come on. If Grandpa wants to just waste his life away, just whittling and rocking, I guess we'll just let him.
Whittling and rocking. It shows what you know. Why, I got more to do than mortal man can handle. There ain't enough hours in the day for all the things I'm called on for to do. Whittling and rocking. Well, Luke, I guess you can stand a little help in your homework, can't you?
Sure, Grandpa. Well, I don't think you should help me much with this. It's history.
You think I don't know about history? Why, at my age, I am history. So just fire away.
Name 5 men who signed the Declaration of Independence.
We'll come back to that one. Give us the next question.
When was the battle between the Monitor and the Merrimac? And who won?
We'll come back to that one, too. Give me the next question.
Who was the first Secretary of State?
Next.
Grandpa, I think I better study in my room.
Well, all right, Luke. You go ahead, and if something stumps you, just holler. That's what Grandpa's here for. Well, Hassie, you're growing up faster than Louise in skunk dress. Don't you think it's about time you had to talk with your grandpa about boys?
Well, I have to go meet the girls at the mall shop, and I'm late as it is.
Well, now, you wait here. You just sit right down. Only take a minute, honey. Now that you're getting all growed up and you're going to be going to dances and meeting boys, there's some things you ought to know about. And that's what your grandpa's for, to tell you.
Well, tell me, Grandpa.
They are different.
Yes, Grandpa. Go on.
The difference is,
Yes, Grandpa.
well, the girls is the ones that dances backwards.
Thanks, Grandpa. I'll have to remember that. Hi, Grandpa.
Yeah, Jessie.
Going well, Mr. Rudolph. You seem to be doing well, Brownie. Oh, Mrs. George, that is just delightful. So pretty. Painting that for your living room, Mrs. Pearson? Good evening. Can I help you?
Is this Joe's beer parlor?
No, this is the meeting place of the young old-timers.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I should have known better.
As long as you stumbled across us, why don't you come in and let me show you around?
Oh, no. They're probably waiting for me down at Joe's.
Oh, it'll only take a few minutes of your time. You've nothing to lose.
Well, the bottle throwing don't start down there for 10 minutes. I can come in and look around.
Good. You go right around the corner of the building, and I'll meet you in the hall. My name is Laura Fielding. I'm the guidance director for the center. Let me show you around, Mr.
McCoy. Amos McCoy.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. McCoy. I'd like to have you see what we do in here. Well, isn't that a nice still life that Mr. Teagarden is doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, come on down and see what Mr. Rudolph is working on. And Mr. Rudolph never worked with clay before in his life until 6 weeks ago. Isn't that an interesting head he's doing of Mr. Jasper?
What's this Jasper figure on doing with it? Lugging around for spare?
Are you planning to join the group, sir?
Mr. McCoy got lost. He was on his way to Joe's Tavern.
Aha. Well, my first time here, I was headed for the Turkish bath. Oh, you like it here, McCoy?
Well, and I figure on getting fitted for a new head, I'll come in and see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to have you meet Mr. McCoy. He's visiting us.
Just for about 5 minutes worth.
We're very proud of our students' work. Some of their paintings are hanging on the wall of our auditorium.
It's nice. Well, I'd best be going now.
Are you leaving so soon, McCoy?
Well, I never planned on coming here in the first place. Now that I'm here, it's the last place I want to stay.
We all face the same problem. After all, joining an over 60 club sounds like an admission that you're through. But believe me, it's not like that. Why, we do things here that we would never do alone.
Well, with my family, I'm never alone.
Look, I have 6 children, and they love me. But they're young, and they have their own lives. So suddenly, one night, you find yourself in a rocking chair. And you get a little frightened.
So what's the idea? You all come over here and rock together?
Just it. Only here we don't rock. McCoy, do you have a hobby?
Hobby?
A hobby, it's something you do with your spare time. It's your hobby.
Who's got spare time? I work hard all day. At night, my family likes to have me around to give me advice. Well, I hardly get time to sit in my rock and whittle.
You whittle?
Anything. Just whittle.
Oh, say. That looks like a real good piece of art. Miss Fielding.
You say that again, and I'll whop you one. That's just plain whittling.
Miss Fielding, look at it.
Well, this is excellent. Where did you get it?
McCoy here whittled it.
Mr. McCoy, do you realize you're one of the few remaining exponents of a dying American art form?
I wish you'd have said that. I can't hit a woman.
Notice the flare of the nostrils.
Give me
Very
that.
clever.
Hunk of wood.
We're very interested, Mr. McCoy. Couldn't you tell us something about your technique?
Well, I don't know nothing about technique. All I do is take a hunk of wood and set, and if you set long enough, something's bound to happen. Anybody knows that's ever seen a chicken.
How do you get such a perfect ratio between the head and the rest of the body?
What's this crazy old fella talking about? The head's all smaller than the rest of the body. That's Mother Nature. Did you ever hear her? Look, let me show you. You just take it like this. You take your knife.
Where you been?
Who's worried, Grandpa?
Why, I've been down to Joe's beer parlor.
You done this to him, Kate.
Grandpa, I'll never mention the word learning around you again.
What you two been doing? Tapping a hard cider or something?
Grandpa, we're sorry we tried to force you to join that young old-timers group. We know now that you'd be unhappy there.
You see, we found out they do awful high-tone things, like making tapestries and molding clay heads and painting fruit salads. There ain't no sense you worrying and straining about trying to keep up with a lot of them educated folks.
Me keep up with them?
Grandpa, you're kind and you're gentle and understanding. I wouldn't trade your ignorance for all the brains in that whole young old-timers group.
I wouldn't trade his ignorance for all the brains in the whole world.
Are you two going to sit here all night praising my ignorance? What's so all-fired smart about a bunch of old coots sitting down making tapestry in a molding clay heads and painting fruit salads? Why, if I had a mind to which I ain't, I could be the head of that class in a week. Cut right off in the top of the head, then you get that nice round curve for the neck, see?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, you go ahead and try that. Oh, Jasper! This is delicate work. You think you're back in your store slicing liver or something?
Mr. McCoy, I must say you've managed to fit in remarkably well in the short week you've been here. Besides introducing a brand new craft, you've also won the respect and admiration of all our pupils.
Well, thank you, ma'am. When us McCoys start something, we like to go all the way back in the hog, you see. Now, you fellas go on with that, and when you come to the tail, just call me, because tail's just tricky.
Well, I think they've accomplished quite a bit for tonight. We've only about 20 minutes left before dismissal. How would you all like to spend the remaining time square dancing?
Oh, I'm for that.
Good.
Well, I guess I'll be going.
Oh, Mr. McCoy, couldn't you join us? It's a lot of fun.
No, I ain't much for dancing. Well, I guess I best be getting home before... Well, I just guess I'd best be getting home.
Well, we'd love to have you stay, but if you have to leave, I understand.
I'll see you all tomorrow night. Maybe we'll finish them horses. Night.
Night.
Good night, Mr. McCoy.
You'll be late for school tonight.
Well, little Luke, we ain't going to school anymore. We quit.
You two ain't going to school no more? I thought you liked it.
Yeah, we do, but Kate and me, we talked it out, and we decided to give it up for Grandpa.
Plumb breaks our hearts to go away night after night and leave him to go off by himself.
Yes, sir. And poor lonely old man, he ain't going to cry in his beer no more.
Decided that we should all stay home and keep him company. All of us.
But I promised to meet the girls. I got to.
Nobody's leaving the house.
You see, we got to make Grandpa feel like he's wanted.
The most important thing is not to let him know why we're staying home. Grandpa's got an awful lot of pride.
Yes, sir. Oh, he's coming. Now do something. Look busy. Hi, Grandpa.
You expecting?
Grandpa?
You're going to be late for school, ain't you?
No, we ain't going to school, Grandpa.
You ain't going to school?
No, sir.
We, kind of tired of it, Grandpa. So tonight, we decided to quit.
Well, you sure picked a fine time to quit. What for?
Well, you always been again learning, Grandpa.
I still am. And when you start a rotten mess, you don't sweep it under the rug. You go on and finish your learning. Then you try to live it down.
Well, school's just a waste of time. You was right.
Sure, I'm right. But there's one thing I ain't got no time for, and that's a gutless grandson who won't stand up and fight for what he knows is wrong. Now, you get out of here, and you get back to that school, and you'll find out what I can take to throw out that poison you've been feeding me. Well, are you going to sit there plowing your hair all night?
Oh, well, Grandpa, I thought I'd stay home tonight. Maybe you and me could have a little talk about boys.
I'm all talked out from the last time we tried. Now, little Luke.
Grandpa, would you help me with my history questions? Even if I do get a failing grade, it's better than you being lonely and crying in your beer.
Oh. All feeling sorry for a lonely, doddering old man, huh?
Well, no, Grandpa, you see...
Now, you clamp your jaws, Luke. If I'm going to daughter by myself. There's one thing I got no time for, and that's pity. Now, you go on and get out, the both of you.
Grandpa, we ain't pitying you. It's just that we hate to see you sitting home alone every night. It just ain't right.
You get out. Little Luke, take your books and get back to your room there and study your homework. Go on. And Hatch, you go on and get down there with the girls. Go on. Get. And you get out of here in 30 seconds, or I'll leave myself. And don't go to feeling sorry for me, because I'll find myself a lonely mountaintop and maybe a lonely coyote where I can lonely our lives away together. There's another who wants it.
Oh, thanks. Say, how come you always give these away? Why don't you take one home to your family?
Oh, I just assumed they didn't know. They ain't interested anyways. Well, let's get started on another.
I know you'll be very interested in seeing the work of our older students.
Can't help worrying about Grandpa.
Attention, everyone. Tonight I brought the young group in so that they might enjoy the work of their elders. For instance, this bust that Mr. Rudolph has done of Mr. Jasper. And a prime example is this elegant piece of workmanship. It was created by a gentleman who represents the finest tradition in Native American art. A man who, by his own hand, is helping to keep alive an almost extinct art form.
Kate, do you see what I see?
It can't be.
And now I'd like to have you meet the gentleman responsible for this work, Mr. Amos McCoy. Mr. McCoy. Miss Vernon. Miss Vernon, would you see if you can find Mr. McCoy? Thank you.
Well, Grandpa.
Fancy seeing you here. I was just headed for Joe's place. I'm late. You have to excuse me.
Oh, don't let him fool you. He's been here every night for a week. He's one of our prize pupils.
Well, Grandpa, why didn't you tell us you was going to school?
We two been worried sick, Grandpa.
Mr. McCoy, our young students here would like to hear a few words about your work. Do you mind?
Well, there ain't much I can say about the work, except it's fun and it's something everybody can do. Now, if any of you got a old codger like me to home who says he's too old to learn anything, you just tell him he's wrong. Because nobody's ever too old to learn new things. I don't care whether they're 50, 60, 70. Look at me, I'm almost... Well, I won't say nothing about that. That's one of the things I learned. When you get to be my age, you just be it. You don't tell about it.